What is Mercosur and how can you get residency in Mercosur? Today we're going to answer these questions. I'm going to walk you through several residency programs, including Uruguay Residency, Paraguay Residency, and Argentina Residency. But before we do that, let's talk about the basics. What is Mercosur? Mercosur is a political and economic coalition consisting of Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay. By the way, Bolivia joined recently. Venezuela's membership was suspended indefinitely in 2016. Since its inception in 1991, Mercosur has aimed to achieve the following: democratic governance, economic development, and the establishment of a common market. Given a statistic from 2002, the founding countries of Mercosur had a combined gross domestic product of $2.6 trillion. I know that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't, considering how big the gross domestic product of other countries is, but it still is a remarkable achievement for the founding members and countries of Mercosur. Why should you consider getting residency in Mercosur? And we're going to talk about this very briefly before we move on to the specific residency programs of Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina. These are the three countries we're going to focus on this video. So it's really important for us to understand why we should consider getting residency in Mercosur. I personally have a residency in Mercosur. I'm glad that I got my residency in Paraguay, and I speak openly about it. It's been a great experience for me. This region, the Mercosur region, has a lot of the benefits that maybe other geographic locations don't have as much. Except for the European Union. Obviously, the free market exists very much in the European Union. The Mercosur region is a different animal in a lot of different ways. The tax incentives are tremendous, and one of the biggest motivating factors for expatriates looking to relocate to the Mercosur region. It is a very attractive tax deal that we're looking at, considering the increasingly and excessively high taxation burdens placed on citizens of the European Union. Of course, Americans and Canadians are not exempt from crazy taxation in the 21st century. These countries, nationals of these countries, have a bigger desire than ever to relocate to a geographic location where taxes don't become a burden. Being in America, I'm in America right now, it feels more of a chore, and it also feels more of a burden than actually life. The quality of life is not that great, which leads us to another very important point. The quality of life in Mercosur, we're talking about Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, of course Brazil as well, is especially and particularly high for nationals of countries that don't earn their money in their local currencies. What I'm trying to say is that if you have foreign currency that is not from the Mercosur geographic location, let's say that's the American dollar, the United States dollar, the Canadian dollar, the European Union euro, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, if you have any of these exotic currencies, you bring them with you into the Mercosur region, you can greatly benefit from increased spending. Your foreign currency goes a long way in the Mercosur region. And this is why a lot of people do relocate to Mercosur in 2024 and beyond. I think it will remain a very attractive option in the 21st century for a number of reasons, specifically the first half of the 21st century, and we're now about halfway through. We have about 25 years, a little bit more left to go. Another thing that's great about Mercosur is that FIFA World Cups happen quite frequently in that region, and these FIFA World Cups that are taking place, they bring new economic opportunities to the region, and we're seeing upgrades in internet speed, we're seeing improvements in infrastructure, we're talking roads, highways, we're talking utilities, that's being improved. Mercosur is not that bad. It really isn't that bad, and considering the improved economic factors that we will witness over the course of the next 2 to 3 decades, I think that investing in Mercosur in 2024 and also in the coming years will be a great decision, not only for diversification, but also for growth. You're looking at potential growth. And of course, that's just one reason. You know, people relocate to Mercosur for a lot of different reasons. The lifestyle options that we have, the quality of life is better, especially if you have above median income, which holds true for the majority of expats, nomads relocating to the Mercosur region. You can enjoy an elevated lifestyle that may not have been possible in your home country, in your country of citizenship, in your past country of residence. And because of that, there are just more rewards to be reaped from obtaining a residence permit in one or multiple Mercosur countries. Potentially one residence permit is enough. Getting two is a whole lot of commitment that we should discuss in a future video. The dating opportunities are another big reason why Mercosur is of interest to many people, not just male expatriates, but also female expatriates. The dating opportunities are great. It is relatively easy to find a lover who wants to start a family, something that is becoming more uncommon in the Western Hemisphere due to the increased cost of living in Europe and North America. Many people are running away. They actually are distancing themselves from the thought of initiating a family in the first place. It is a sad, cold, dark time that we're living in. However, it is a time of great opportunity. We look at other geographic locations, and today we're specifically talking about the Mercosur region, where these things don't really become a burden, especially if you bring foreign earned income with you into the region. If you have foreign currency, you're actually a hero. These are some really interesting facts that foreigner can resonate with, where they just have more going for themselves in the Mercosur region versus back home. Mercosur is also home to a tremendous amount of natural resources that won't be running out anytime soon. Smart trade agreements, such as Paraguay giving part of its electricity, we're talking about the supply that's not being used by Paraguay, to Brazil at Paraguay's own cost, is a great move by Paraguay. I feel like peace will be retained in Mercosur. We haven't really seen anything bad happening there in a long time. I know that there is civil unrest in certain ways. In Argentina, we've seen that. However, Mercosur has been a pretty peaceful region for the past number of decades. The dictatorships came to an end in the 80s, and things have been going uphill ever since. Another great benefit of living in Mercosur is, of course, the young median age. You're looking at a very young, motivated workforce that cannot be denied. It's very important. Now that we have addressed why Mercosur, we've talked about the basics, some important facts, let's talk about getting residency in Mercosur countries. Let's start out with Argentina. There are a number of residency programs that you may qualify for. Argentina has this residency by investment option, and the investment amount hasn't really changed in a number of years. You're looking at an investment of 1.5 million Argentine pesos. This amount sounds like a lot, sounds like outrageous, but it really comes down to $1,700. And given the rapid inflation that Argentina is undertaking, this amount, assuming that it will not be adjusted this year, next year, you're looking at a very low investment to move to Argentina as a businessman, as an investor. You're really looking at a very sensible investment to obtain a residence permit in a country that is looking better now with its new leadership wanting to change the trajectory of the country. It is already being changed. We're going to see what the new laws imply and how these new laws that are now being implemented will affect Argentine society for the years and decades to come. To get residency by investment in Argentina, you do have to prove the source of funds. Not going to be a problem. You're going to show your bank statements. They will be validated by your bank in your country, wherever you have the money, and that's pretty much it. Unless you want to make a sizable investment where you had to liquidate a position, potentially a house or something, then additional documents may be required at the point of visa application. But let's say you want to qualify through the bare minimum or slightly above, there won't be too many questions asked about the origin of the funds that you transfer to Argentina to get this residence permit. This is an active, not a passive role, so the money must be put at risk, and you must actively manage the business in Argentina. So you're coming in as a businessman, you're getting residency by investment, and you must prove that you are actually part of the business. You cannot be a passive investor, you must be actively participating in this company in Argentina. What types of businesses can qualify for residency by investment? There are really no restrictions. There may be some, of course. You cannot do anything illegally, but generally you can open up a brick and mortar business. It can be an IT business. It can be like an outsourcing firm. It can be really anything online related, offline related that is legal. It does not have to be anything particular. It doesn't have to be anything that requires a tremendous amount of ingenuity. It can be a regular business, regular brick and mortar business, a regular online business. There are no problems with that. Other countries like Malaysia have more strict requirements for the Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Program, where you have to invest and actively participate in an innovative startup to qualify for the MTEP, Malaysia's Tech Entrepreneur Program. The requirements are changing a lot more in that region than what we're seeing in Mercosur. Another popular option for Argentina is Argentina's Rentista visa, which, as the name reveals, requires some kind of passive income to qualify as a pensioner, as someone who earns passive income. So you have to prove that right now, and obviously the amount changes. You're looking at roughly roughly $1,300 if you're applying as a single applicant or a couple. Now, if you were to apply as a large family with say 5 or 6 children, then this amount would probably need to be a bit higher just for you to prove to the Argentine government that you can actually support yourself and your dependents while you are residing in Argentina. Argentina also has an education visa, like all the countries that we're talking about in this video do have it. It's a visa option that is not commonly promoted on this very platform because most people working online, they prefer qualifying for something like an investment or potentially, getting married is obviously a very popular path to residency and later on converted to citizenship. But residency by education is very popular. There's some really good universities in Argentina, possibly the best in South America. Uruguay has some good ones too, but if you want to go study in Argentina, you have plenty of options to choose from. Argentina is also home to big cities. It's not just Buenos Aires. You have Mendoza, you have a couple of other cities, you have Rosario, a few more, where you can go to university. And like I said, Argentina is home to the best universities in Latin America. The Argentine people are very educated. You find people that speak multiple languages, talking Spanish, Italian, English. English is actually the second most commonly spoken language in Buenos Aires right now. So many people speak it, and it's just a great place to go to school, I think. How else can you get into Argentina? Well, residency by marriage or even citizenship by marriage is a very popular option in Argentina. You can marry someone in Argentina and get residency much quicker than if you were to undertake one of the other options that we explained. So marriage is actually a very great option. Also, if you happen to become the father or mother of a child born on Argentina's soil, you may qualify for a quicker path to citizenship yourself. Obviously, your natural born Argentine child is Argentine and will obtain a passport upon birth. This is great too. Citizenship is acquired upon birth if the baby is born in Argentina. Very popular option, something that we do recommend. And as we said, you can also do it through marriage. Next up, we have Paraguay, the country where I personally have residency. It's a beautiful country. I do love the people of Paraguay a lot. I have a great time in Paraguay. It's one of my favorite countries in the entire world for a number of reasons. It just fits my criteria. And Paraguay is really the silent, innocent child nobody talks about, but it's gaining pace. Good things are about to happen in Paraguay. Good things have already happened in Paraguay, and I'm very bullish on Paraguay and also the Mercosur region. And we've talked about this in other videos. You can check them out after watching this one. But let's just get started talking about the residency options in Paraguay. Temporary residency in Paraguay is one of the easiest to get in the entire world because you don't have to prove economic solvency. And we've stressed this a lot on the channel how this is such a great option where really anyone can come in without having income. I mean, it's such a liberal country. What Paraguay or who Paraguay does not want are people with a criminal record. So if you have a criminal record, then you will not get into Paraguay. That's the unfortunate truth. I mean, you're going to get into Paraguay, but you're not going to get in on a residence permit because you're going to have to prove your criminal record. And if you have a criminal record in the country where you live in or your country of citizenship, then Paraguay may not take you. It's one of the countries with the strictest requirements, where they have like this no policy, no matter what the criminal record is, they're not going to accept you, which is kind of strict, but it is what it is. Other countries like Argentina are more lenient about this, but Paraguay is very strict. And it's because Paraguay does not require economic solvency, right? So they don't want criminals, even though something like a misdemeanor does not make you a criminal. I get that. If you had multiple, heavy, serious felony convictions, then that's a whole other story. But if let's say you got a DUI, then that's of course a different story. If you drove under the influence of alcohol and you got caught 15, 20 years ago when you were like a teenager in the US, and that still shows up on your record and you can't get it removed, then that's bad luck, because we all make mistakes. We all made mistakes, right? Some people got caught, other people maybe not. And so that can prevent you from getting residency in Paraguay. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So in that case, you can get residency in Argentina or in a different Mercosur country. But yeah, Paraguay has a great residency. The temporary, you have it for 2 years, and after 2 years, you convert to permanent. And unlike Argentina, Paraguay is home to a territorial tax system where you just don't pay taxes on most foreign sourced income. Permanent residency in Paraguay can also be obtained if you want to make an investment, say of $70,000. The amount can be spread out over over a number of years. You don't have to invest it immediately. Upfront, no, you don't have to do that. You can get permanent residency in Paraguay by investing $70,000 into a business. Like in Argentina, it does not have to be an innovative startup. You don't have to be an innovator to move to Paraguay on an investor on a business visa, on residency by investment. You don't have to do that. Other countries are more strict. They want certain skills only certain people are welcomed, other people are not. But Paraguay is not like that. Argentina is not like that. It's a very welcoming country, a very welcoming culture. And so you have these two options. And of course, what you also have is a residency by education. All these countries have it. You can get that in Paraguay if you want to go to school, you want to learn Spanish, you want to, advance your career, then you have plenty of options as well. How can you get residency in Uruguay? Uruguay is a very interesting country. It's one of the safest countries in the Americas. It really is. It's beautiful, it's small, it's home to a territorial tax system. It's one of the countries that many people are interested in because it is safer, it is cleaner than other countries, and it has a higher standard of living. So Uruguay has a lot going for it. If you want to get residency in Uruguay, there is also a retirement visa available that you may qualify for. Similar to Argentina, Uruguay requires you to prove the source of the funds. If you have some kind of pension and you can prove that you had that for already so and so much time, let's say you have Social Security, you have a pension from a European Union country, you have a pension from Canada, you want to go live in Uruguay, you can prove that, and if it meets the required minimum amount, you can get into Uruguay as a pensioner. Great option. You can also get an education visa for Uruguay, even though there aren't that many universities in Montevideo. There are some worth looking into, and it's one of the, like I said, one of the more advanced countries in Latin America. The healthcare is quite good in Argentina too. Uruguay and Argentina have pretty good hospitals that you can look into. So it's a really great country with a lot going for it. You can obviously also get in if you get married to a Uruguayan, then you can get residency by marriage. If you're interested in obtaining residency in one of the countries that we discussed, you really want to consider this month's specials. We're running specials where we offer additional value free of charge to simplify your relocation to one of the Mercosur countries that we talked about in today's video. Nomad Elite would love to work with you, help you obtain residency in the Mercosur region, optimize your taxes, find love, and just have the best life that you could have possibly hoped for. We really want you to prosper in Mercosur, and we are the relocation agency that provides, I believe, the best value in the industry in this specific region because we care about our clients so much. If you're interested in working with us, please contact us now with some great deals available this very month. So click on the link below the video. You should also see the link displayed on the screen right now. Click on that link and get started. We look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for watching Nomad Elite. We truly appreciate you, and we see you on the next one.